What's going on, everyone? Welcome. We are in April. Spring is here. We are blooming and we are here today. Me and my best friend, another episode of the Inner Circle podcast. How's everyone doing? How are you, bestie?
I'm good. Trying to survive in this horrible weather. I know you're like spring blooming, but it's like April showers bring May flowers or whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
April showers bring me flowers.
Today was like, well, no, let's go back to yesterday. Yesterday was like New York springtime prime,
Yes,
60
it was
something
gorgeous.
degrees. It was super sunny, gorgeous. Today it's like drizzling, super humid. If you have a blowout, you're going to have Don King hair. I don't know. I did not like today. And it was cold and raining.
Not
I feel
dunking. You said that earlier too.
Why do you think I'm wearing a hat? Well, I just want to say to our viewers and our listeners and to you, I need everyone to do a little prayer for me because I feel in true Melanie fashion that I'm starting to get sick. Like I feel it in my bones. No, I felt like a little tickle in my throat today. I don't know if it's the weather or what, but like yeah.
It's crazy how nowadays, like, we feel. I'm paranoid like this too. You feel anything, a tickle in your throat or whatever, you're like, oh shit. You're already bracing yourself, like, I'm getting sick and stuff. But like,
Tomorrow I'm staying home. I'm working from home tomorrow. I don't want to be around people. I'm gonna freaking drink lots, pop lots of vitamin C, whatever, but or an emergency, but I'm not trying to get sick. I have a busy month, a very busy month, and we were just talking about me not being on. Sorry to disappoint, guys. I'll be on soon, but I won't be on for a couple of for like two
weeks.
weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, for 2 weeks. Duty calls,
she
business
is
calls.
she is going to be hopping on those flights. Catch flights,
Yeah.
not feelings.
And that's exactly why I can't get sick because the last thing you want to do is travel and be sick. That is the worst.
Facts.
Mm.
Um
But um how was your weekend?
my
Well,
weekend
yeah, your weekend.
this weekend was low. Okay, I feel like I was out and about this weekend. Like I did Friday I
Work?
was social. Saturday I was a little social, yeah. Sunday I stayed and rested. When I say rest, listen, I've been going to church lately.
Hmm.
For those people who don't know, but this Sunday I'm like, listen, Jesus, I know 1 week is not gonna send me to purgatory, so I had to like take what like when I say I rested, I
I know
rested.
you rested, bitch. We didn't speak. Normally, Charlie and I speak every day. Sunday
Hmm.
was the day, and I'm glad we didn't speak because you know what? I was like in my I want to be a hermit mode, and I literally had my phone over here and I was over there. I have my days where I just want to decompress and not be social with or have any interactions. Yes, I'm antisocial sometimes, but yeah, I think for me this weekend was basically unplugging and just chilling and watching lots of Netflix. There's a lot of Netflix shows that are on that I actually enjoyed watching. Um,
You shouldn't feel bad, also, honestly, for unplugging and having a day where you don't communicate, text, talk to no one. Like, you shouldn't feel bad. Like, that's needed. You know what I'm saying? I personally
I
think that's
used to
needed.
feel bad. I used to feel bad, but I feel like now it's necessary because if I don't take care of myself or like have I don't know a day where I'm just like selfless, then I feel like I over exacerbate myself, and that's not fair to me. But it does feel a little weird when we don't talk. I'm like, oh my god, I hope Charlie doesn't think that I'm mad at him. But then at the same time,
No,
I'm like, this bitch is busy taking naps, his little siestas.
no, it's true. It's true. I love napping. Like, I love being in daytime
He's
naps.
you could tell he's old. I like napping
Right?
too, but you know what's funny? I
Especially
nap
cuddling
more. Ew.
at
I
night.
nap more. I'm not a cuddler. You know why? Actually, I lie. It depends on the person. But I'm not a cuddler because I don't like body heat and like sweating. Like, I don't know. That's
Yeah,
weird.
with me, you would
But
hate it. But I'm a
anyway,
thermostat. According to many people,
yeah, and so
I'm
is
a
your dog.
thermostat. Oh yeah, he is
Um,
a little freaking heat
he's a
taker
little ball
sometimes.
of fire. I prefer to take naps in the summer under the AC. Those under the AC naps are the best. But like taking a nap in the cold, you just wake up cold. It's I don't know. Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I love that summer, fall, winter,
Yeah, but
whatever season.
you're like what is that? Father not Father Time. The Sandman.
Oh, Mr.
You're like this.
Sandman.
Yeah. I
Yes.
wasn't thinking that song. I was thinking Metallica, but okay.
And speaking of Mr. Sandman, because that song, the reason why that song came popped in my head right away was because they had in a Golden Girls episode they sing that song.
Oh,
And speaking of Golden Girls, last week
yes.
we had a cool little experience that we got to do in
We
Golden
went to an
Girls.
event.
Yeah. How was it? Do you want to tell the people about it?
Yeah. So we went to a Golden Girls pop up shop that was here in New York City in the Seaport area, I think.
Mm.
Um, it basically was an interactive experience where you go and the area the place has everything that's basically the Golden Girls. Anything, any nostalgic part of the series, the lanai. It had like the living room. It had the bedroom. Little artifacts and things that have to do with the show. They had little moments and pictures in the walls and like little sayings and stuff. And they also it comes with a dinner. So
Mm.
you get to choose the dinner and the types of dinner, the
The
options
play,
are
yeah,
based
yeah.
the options are based on like some episodes or some of the specialties that they liked. Like
Mhm.
Rose, I chose the was it bacon,
Bacon,
lettuce,
lettuce,
and
potatoes. Bacon,
like
lettuce,
bacon,
potatoes.
lettuce,
Try to say
bacon,
it
lettuce,
quick.
potato. I can't. Bacon, lettuce, potato sandwich, and it came with fries. I was like, where the fuck did she get the potatoes? Maybe from the French fries? No. I looked at my sandwich, and there was waffle fries inside the sandwich. So I was
Mm.
like, oh my god, where's the cheese? But anyway, that was really good. And then you got the
I
lasagna.
got the lasagna. I got Sophia's lasagna.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good. I did say it was a little salty, but
Mm,
I don't mind.
coming from a Puerto Rican, you know that's
Exactly.
bad,
Right. Right.
bitch.
Exactly. That's exactly my point. Because so when to say it out loud, like, wow, this is a little salty. Like you just coming from a Latino Puerto Rican.
Because you know we like some adobo in our shit in our
Ex-
food. Even when
so
I wouldn't say mine's was salty. Mine's wasn't salty. The only problem I had with mine was that mine was so greasy. It felt like I was holding a pizza. It was really greasy. But the
nonetheless, still good.
cheesecake was
It was still
yeah,
good.
it was really good. The cheesecake was good. I had the strawberry one and you had what, chocolate?
I had the chocolate. And you see, that's where we different because I thought, and my comment about this was that I felt like they bought like a bunch of cheesecakes at like
Bitch, I
BJ's
think yes, they went to Costco and
or
bought the big
Costco.
shits.
Yeah,
I've bought those before. Shout out to Costco. No, I have BJ's. I lie. Anyway, I bought those before where you freeze them too, and I felt like they were a little bit on the dry side,
yeah. I didn't even
a
eat
little
my
dry.
whole cheesecake. Remember, I
I
didn't
ate
even eat
some of mine, and I was like, all right, I can't do this no more. But nonetheless, it was a great experience. We got to take pictures.
it. Yeah.
Luckily for us, we got to go because the tickets were sold out. It's a ticketed event.
Yeah.
And I think that they moved on to San Francisco. They
Well,
go from city to city.
they were in Miami before, I think, or LA, something like that. And they're
Yeah.
definitely going to San Francisco now. But to my surprise, I thought March 31st, which was last Friday, was the last day. But they extended it one more weekend. So if you happen to be in New York, if you're in New York and you love the Golden Girls, and if there's even still seats available, this weekend is officially the last weekend that you get to experience that. They extended it a little bit. So
Oh, I need
I'm
to
like,
let
damn.
I think Javier wanted to go. He wants to take his mom, so I'll let him know.
Well, yeah, definitely let him know because this week is the last weekend, and I checked. I believe I checked on Monday, and they still had a lot of availability. I think a lot of people think it ended March 31st, like initially what it was supposed to
Mm.
end. So, yeah, definitely let him know. And shout out to Javier. Yeah, I don't know who Javier is. he was on this show at the top of the year talking fitness and goals and all that stuff. Check out that episode if you have it.
He needs to come back in the 6 month mark and see how everyone's doing.
Right, check out that episode for sure. And that was episode because we rocking and rolling with these episodes.
140.
That was episode 140.
I feel like it's. Wait, can I guess it? Was
Guess
it
it.
147 or 146?
No, 139.
Oh my god!
Episode 139. So definitely check
That was
that
a while
out with
ago.
special guest Javier. It was at the top of the year. At the top of the year, we had him.
Time
Yeah.
flies
The
when
time
you do
does
this
fly.
every fucking Wednesday. No, I'm kidding.
I mean,
I'm
listen.
kidding.
To some people, it's not enough, but here we are. Here we are, rocking and rolling. But yeah. But speaking of the Golden Girls,
Mhm.
obviously, as you know, I'm a huge fan of the Golden Girls, and we have this not joke,
Yes.
but we have this.
You
knowledge
put me
of
onto
them
the
talk
Golden
about-
Girls. I used to watch the Golden Girls when I was younger. When I lived in Miami, I used to watch them when I would get ready for school. And when my youngest sister went to summer school, there were two shows I would watch and wait for her to come back. It would be Golden Girls in the morning, and then I would watch Fashion File. That's why I went to fashion school. But when we became close, I remember you saying you liked the Golden Girls.
Mhm.
And funny story, Charlie cannot go to sleep without watching something in TV, watching TV. He needs to sleep with the TV on, which drives me fucking insane because I hate that. When we have sleepovers, he has to have the TV on, or obviously when he comes over to my apartment, he'll have his little iPad next to him or whatever, your
phone,
tablet.
yeah. Or the phone.
Yeah, and he'll be watching whatever show. And I'm just like, how can you do that? Well, same thing with me. I need to sleep with the fan. I need that in the words of
Come on, Kathy Hilton.
the fan with
Jinx.
the hum, the sound. But yeah,
Yep.
I think it's more reasonable to have a fan than have the TV on because that shit scares me. I've tried it before and I woke up to you remember those CDs that they would sell and it would have Celine Dion because I'm your lady screaming.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I would wake up to that and be startled. So that's why I don't watch TV sleeping
Yeah.
or have the
Okay.
TV playing.
Another thing that I get my boyfriend, kind of upset. Not upset, but he's like, please don't put scary movies on or nothing scary and loud because it's true. And that I have to agree with him in this.
I don't like
sense.
that.
You fall asleep and then the thing's still going, and then in the middle of the night you hear something loud, obviously a scary
Mhm.
movie or something, and you hear a scream or a or something crazy, and you're like, oh shit. So you're waking up more scared than going to sleep. And the point of going to sleep with the TV on for me is comfort.
Mhm.
It's something about
It's
comfort.
comforting.
It's
Well,
comfort. I don't know how to explain it. It's just weird to me. I don't want to say I'm scared. Okay, I'm not saying I'm scared to go to sleep in the dark. That's not the case. It's
No,
just
I get
weird.
it. It's
And
nostalgic. And that brings up a good point because I wanted to talk about this too. Comfort shows.
Mhm.
I know and we had this discussion while we were at the event, the Golden Girls event, and I said to you, I know that there are shows that we watch religiously, we can just turn on. Yes, we finished the show, the entire seasons, but we can still watch it over and over and just feel like it's okay to have it in the background. For you, I already know. You can guess what mine's is, but obviously yours is Golden Girls.
I have a few other ones too.
I know you have a few other ones. I would say probably I'm trying to think of the times you've came over and did that and it pissed me off. I know it was Golden Girls. Was there anything you've done it with Are You Afraid of the Dark? No.
Mm-mm.
Give me a hint.
Well, I know I've also used to go to sleep, which is weird. And I'm changing a little bit now as I'm growing older. But I used to go to sleep watching scarier things before. Not no more.
Yeah,
But Supernatural.
Supernatural. Okay.
Yes, that's the one. Supernatural.
Why do I feel like you watched Charmed before? Left it on.
But the thing is, I don't know if I've done it when we've had sleepovers, but I've done that. I have fallen asleep watching Charmed also. But I wouldn't say those are some of the okay, my nostalgic shows that are comfort for me to go to sleep now, definitely
Mhm.
Golden Girls. Once upon, but like you said, once upon a time, it was like Supernatural, Buffy, the Vampire Slayer.
For me, I felt like it was more like sitcom, like Golden Girls with the laughing track. That's more of the type of thing that you fall asleep
Yeah,
to.
no, but Golden Girls is number one. Yeah, for sure. Golden Girls
Yeah.
is the chosen one. What about you? Like, or comfort
For
shows, comfort shows in general, not necessarily
yeah.
only to fall asleep to. Well, like during the day or like when you're looking forward to like your Saturday off, and you're like, I don't want to fucking do nothing but have an ice cream tub, stay in bed all day, and watch this. Like, what's that for you?
For me, and this is always going to be a given, and like every ex-boyfriend I've had knows this for a fact because I put them on, but Sex in the City,
Hmm.
that's a show that I can watch repeatedly, religiously, the movies, everything. I put on Sex in the City, and after I take a shower and I want to just lounge in bed and be on TikTok scrolling, I will have Sex in the City in the background.
Two,
That's
two.
one.
That's another show I could fall asleep to watching, and I
Yeah, I
have a
think
lot of times.
we
Yeah,
have.
we
Yeah.
have. Yeah, we have.
I'm surprised when we went camping, we didn't do that. We didn't play any music, but a lot of shit went down. Anyway, another show that I can like watch repeatedly, and obviously we are not Bravo celebs, not us calling
Not
each
yet.
other celebs, manifesting
Self-procl-
it, self-proclaimed, honey. I am a self-proclaimed Bravo celeb, but
we are.
I want to say the New York, the Real Housewives of New York, the
I was
New
gonna.
York
I
franchise.
was gonna guess that for you. Yep.
That is, and I will watch season 1 to like season 13 or however much they are. That is the one franchise that I can watch on a loop. Like when I'm cooking or cleaning or doing laundry, I have that shit playing in the background, listening to Dorinda. I made it nice, and I like that's what I find comfort in that. But
You
I'm
do
trying to
love
think
New
what
York, and you
else.
said that before, and I'm like, that's.
New
I
York
mean,
is
I
my
love the
favorite.
Housewives, but you, like you're saying, you could watch it like over. Like it's the same thing with
Hmm.
me and Golden Girls. Like I've seen every episode so many times, but to me, it's still I laugh at the same jokes. Sometimes I laugh at jokes I didn't laugh at. It's like you find yourself doing the same thing, like this shit that you've seen so many times, still laughing at, and it's
You know what's funny? I find comfort, and I find like I am not trying to be like small minded or anything, but like I really find comfort in old 90s New York City shows. Like
mm,
anything that has the vibe of New York City back in the day in the 90s and stuff and the early 2000s, that's like what I really love and
the
enjoy.
nanny.
The
I got it.
Nanny, oh
The
my
nanny.
god.
Right,
Yeah.
my guy, and that's another show that sometimes I go to sleep watching too. So
Yeah.
nowadays, more for me, less scary stuff and more just like feel good.
Mhm.
Comedy, haha.
Yeah. And I feel like also with our age, I think now, like when I was like in my 20s or even in my 18, 19, 20, whatever, I would watch Sex in the City and I couldn't relate to these bitches. Now, every fucking episode is a lesson. And I'm like, oh my God, I literally am Carrie, or oh my God, I feel for Samantha. I feel for Miranda because I understand what they went through because I'm going through it. But same thing with New York. The funny thing about watching New York Housewives is that because it is here in New York and because of I work in hospitality, I see all the places that they've dined out or places that they stayed and went to in New York City, and I'm like, "Oh my god, that place is like no longer there." Or,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, that restaurant is still around and that's one of my accounts." It's like so cool to see that. So cool to see it in
The
a different
evolution
light.
of New York, exactly right. The
Mhm.
evolution of New York from shows that you used to like watch.
Yeah.
What other ones I would say like? What about growing up? Shows that like comforted you as a kid. Like it was a lot for me. Full House, Brady
No.
Bunch, Family Matters, The Cosby
No.
Show was another one back in the
I
day.
didn't
I
like
used to binge
sitcoms.
watching.
I liked
Oh no,
I No, I didn't grow up liking sitcoms like that. Like obviously I got into it as I got older because I saw other people interested in it, but I never grew up with Friends, the show.
I never
I
got into
never
Friends.
I never
Never
really.
watched.
The only show that I really, really obsessed over that I watched, and I actually put Javier onto the show, Scrubs. I love that show. It was a good. Me and my brother actually like watched that show religiously. But I grew up watching like more so cartoons, like Hey Arnold,
Mm,
um, The Wild Thornberries, As
hmm.
Told by Ginger. She was like, I still to this day think she was black. Well, like, how you gonna have Macy Gray as the lead singer in the theme song and not have a black cartoon? She was black. Um, what else? Rocco's Modern Life. I like shows like that. Courage
You
the
know,
Cowardly Dog, even though I was
you,
weird for liking that.
you see,
Shut up,
I'm so
because you
glad you
like
brought it
scary
up. No, no, no,
movies.
no, no. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. And this is the weird thing about Courage the Cowardly Dog. So there was a point where I used to go to sleep watching cartoons and Cartoon Network. So it was like Powerpuff Girls used to air. That would be on the Ed and Eddies, the Johnny Bravos, and then at some point, Courage the Cowardly Dog will come on. And this is my point of like waking up and hearing because
Yeah,
Courage was eerie. That cartoon was
yeah.
eerie. The music background, everything. So to me, I would freak out falling asleep at a certain point watching this cartoon, and then like get woken up by like the fucking crazy sounds and the scariness of Courage the Cowardly Dog. And I don't
No,
know
because
why.
he didn't talk. He would just be like grunting or
No, but
screaming
not
and
him,
stuff.
not his sound, just the show itself. Whether it's the scary, eerie music in the background, like that cartoon show scared the shit out of me for someone who loves scary shit.
I liked it. I thought it
So
was
that's
cool.
crazy how you mentioned that one. Like that to me, like freaked me out. Like going to sleep and waking up to because I don't know. I found courage.
Funny story that you mentioned Johnny Bravo because Johnny Bravo was like the first cartoon that I actually was like, wow, he's hot. I started liking Buff Daddies when when I started watching Johnny Bravo, but then he was hot, but then he was dumb, dumb as dirt.
Yeah, true.
Oh,
You know what
typical.
cartoon I found? It's funny how you say you found a cartoon hot. The Spider-Man in the '90s, Peter Parker. Me being a kid,
Hmm.
I'm like, wow, for a cartoon,
No, I liked Robin
he's a
from what?
Batman in the
Kevin
animated series.
O'Donnell.
Oh no,
Kevin
no, but that's the
O'Donnell.
movie, not the cartoon.
I know.
But yes,
I wasn't
Chris O'Donnell. Chris O'Donnell.
Chris O'Donnell. Where did I get Kevin from? Anyway, yeah, he was hot. But I'm trying to think what other show that I watched that I really liked too. Um, yeah,
I
and
know.
all that. That was
Oh
a good show.
yeah, that was
That
good.
was like I've always liked comedy, Keenan and Kel, stuff like that type of sitcom.
Funny
I
enough,
liked.
I went to sleep. It had to be last week. It was some point last week watching all that. I was
Yeah,
watching all that. Yeah, because I'm. If you don't know, or if anyone out there doesn't know, there's going to be, and they were both on. I believe Jimmy Kimmel to announce this. It was either Jimmy Kimmel or what's my other guy who's best friends with? I'm Justin Timberlake. My other guy, talk show host,
Jimmy Fallon.
or Jimmy Fallon. It was one of those two.
He's not best friends with Justin Timberlake.
Well,
He's
they're
best
cool.
friends
They're
with
really
Andy
cool. They're
Cohen.
really cool. But they announced both Keenan and Kel that finally, after so many years, there's going to be a Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? Part two.
Oh my
Yes.
god. Really?
So yeah, there's gonna be a part two for sure, and they're shooting it this summer. Um,
Nice.
and I'm like, you know what? When I watched it, I'm like, you know what? I want to go. I want to watch all that. And I watched the episode where the first skit that they ever made as Good Burger and all that. I put it on
Mhm.
that episode, and I was just watching like all that episodes till I fell asleep.
That's awesome. Keenan and Kel, they still look young as fuck.
Yeah,
Um,
that's gonna be good. I mean, did you watch Good Burger Part One?
of course. That
I
was
did,
my
but I don't
shit.
remember it. I don't remember. I seen it once as a kid, and I don't remember it. But I'm
I still
excited for
quote
part two
it.
for the nostalgia.
Yeah.
Give me a good quote from it.
I'm a dude. He's a dude. She's a dude. Cause we're all dudes. That was my shit. I wanted to be Kel for Halloween for a long time. Like dress up as like the Good Burger employee.
Mhm.
But that shit never panned out. Maybe if they come up
Oh,
with a movie, I could do it. But
good costume idea for this year's Halloween bash.
see how I think of good
Both of us.
costumes, but when it comes to freaking October and it's like it's time to have a costume, I just wing it and wear whatever.
Let me write it on
Oh,
my good burger costume possibility.
I made a wish list on Amazon, and I have like a few costume ideas there. So we'll see. This year might be the year that I go ham. Even though last year was pretty good.
Yeah, last year, and the year before you did pretty good too. Wednesday, that
Wednesday
was really good.
Adams.
That was
I
really really
know.
good.
I'm
Now
popping.
we comfort shows is one thing. We love comfort shows, visually watching, but we love one thing about us, and that's how we became best friends and close. Because every
Peace.
story
Rest in
begins.
peace.
Every story begins with, I thought she was a bitch at first. I thought he was a bitch. And that was our story. But music makes the
Makes
people
up
come
people.
together. And that's what happens with me and Melanie all over Britney Spears and the Spice Girls. So, with that being said,
Hmm.
let's talk about songs that bring you back. Like this song, like especially now, us being at a certain age, and that's for anyone watching, us being at a certain age, just music that like you grew up on or your parents listened to, and now songs that when they play is just like whoa. It sometimes even brings you back to the point where you like inside start feeling a little bit emotional, like
Yeah.
yeah. Like what is that
Um,
for you? What are some of those songs for you?
that's funny enough. I've been listening to a lot lately. I've been listening to a lot of like dance music from like back in the day. Like when I say back in the day, I mean like early 2000s when I had just graduated high school. Um, so obviously Britney and the Spice Girls brought us together. So I can literally picture the first time that I listened and saw the video of the Spice Girls "Say You Be There" and the video of Britney Spears "Baby One More Time." They literally played back to back. I was sitting in the living room with my brothers, with my stepbrothers and my siblings, my brother and my sister, and we were, I guess, we were watching MTV, and like a Michael Jackson can't I forgot what song just finished playing, but then Britney Spears comes on, Baby One More Time. And I was 7 at the time. And I was literally glued just watching her because I hate to say this and sound ignorant, but I was like, oh my God, look at this white girl. I've never seen her before. And watching that, I was just like, look at her dancing. I like it. And I told my mom I wanted the pom poms. She was like, no. But then afterwards, the next song that played was Spice Girls "Say You'll Be There," and I was mesmerized because I've always like loved girl power and seeing them all dancing and stuff. And my mom, I remember watching it. She's like, "They're British. I can tell from their accent." And I was like, "How the hell can you tell?" Like from them singing, because I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I could never tell.
I
It's
could
so funny.
never
British
tell.
singers when they sing, why can't you hear their accents until they talk regular? I've always found
Yeah,
that puzzling.
yeah. So yeah, I that's those are two songs that I remember. And then in my later years, when I was older, when I lived in Miami, there's a song. I was actually telling my friend Chris about this song. From Bob Sinclair. I was during high school, I
Love
was
this song.
really interested. I know you know this
I
song.
love that song.
Bob Sinclair, World Hold On.
That
If I am feeling down and out, this is the song that makes me feel happy. Like it gets me out of my funk. That song, for the first time I ever heard it, was in 2006. And there was the festival, Ultra Music Festival. I went for the first time. I was literally the only sober one, just saying. I went with my bestie at the time, Brian, who you know who I'm
yeah.
talking about. Oh, okay. So yeah. So I we went, and I was like, while everyone was doing what they were doing, I just wanted to listen to the music. And that song played, and I don't know why, but it like stuck with me forever. I remember I didn't know the name of the song. So like I just kept playing it over and over, and I had to Google the lyrics. So that song has stuck with me for
That
years now.
song is so nostalgic. That song
It
is such a
is.
feel good song. That song is
Hmm.
so much to me. Just the beat, everything takes me back to childhood. To like that song. Ooh, that's a good one, bitch. That's a
I
good
was listening to that song all week, like literally all week. And then the last one during my summer, I think it was my last year here in New York before I moved to Florida. I went to this, like, it wasn't a summer camp, but was it a summer camp? I don't know. But it was in Osceola. I remember it was in Lake Osceola. It was upstate New York. and they had a DJ. He was so cute. He was white and like a white boy, and it was Mojo Lady Hear Me Tonight.
Later, hear
Yeah,
me tonight. That's another good
that
one.
was my fucking ringtone for years. But that song, I think I was 13. I heard that song, and just the beat of it was so great. And I remember listening to that song in Miami Beach for New Year's, and they were playing it, like blasting it, and I like that's how I got into like house music.
Those are
But yeah,
ageless songs too. Like
they
some of
are
those songs that you
ageless.
mentioned are just some of those songs that can still come on at a club, where you can still play at your house or in the car, and it's just like boom, boom. Like it's just does not feel old. You know how there's some songs that you hear and you're like, you know it's old, but
Oh
it
my,
also
like
sounds
you're like,
outdated.
oh my god, I can't. There's some songs where I'm like, I cannot listen to this. I feel corny listening to it outside. But those two songs, I can listen to them. I could be sad, I could be mad, whatever, and it just changes my mood. It's like endorphins.
For me, it's not necessarily specific certain songs, or maybe there is, but I can think. But with me, I'm so random. It could be anything. Songs. Some of the songs for me is that bring me back, like nostalgic, and bring me back to childhood. Is maybe even songs that my mom used to blast, like
Oh
Mary
yeah.
J. Blige, like. And I was telling this to my guy too. Like Mary J. Blige was like my mom listened to it. So like
Mm.
songs like My Everything or I Can't Love You,
Oh yeah, my mom had that
I
album.
Can't Love You, and
My
I've been
mom
listening
had
to
a
that song.
boyfriend. My mom was dating this guy when she worked in corrections, and like he would bring us CDs. I remember he brought us that Mary J. Blige CD, Share My World, which has that song. And then he got me the TLC one, the red album one. And
Crazy
I was
Sexy
like,
Cool.
ew. Yes, but like, why are you giving me, like, I'm super young, this album? That it was so weird. But I do love those albums.
Well, listen, back when I was younger, like the kids my age or a little older, but not that much older, what had
Yeah.
that Crazy Sexy Cool album?
Yeah, it's great. But
It's
you
like
when I associate, I'm
when you
like,
grow
why
up,
would
yeah, yeah. Why are
I'm like,
kids
ew,
listening
red
to it?
light
Yeah.
special. Come
Well, it's the
on.
same thing for the Spice Girls, though. When you really think about it, and as an adult,
Hmm.
you listen to the Spice Girls, you're like, wow, a lot of kids. They had a lot of young fans, but then you have songs like Naked.
Yeah, Lake It was a good song. Woo!
I
And
know, I
Saturday
love
Night
Naked.
Divas.
Yeah, so
Ooh.
but for me, like the Mary J. Blige, like for me, sometimes it's a good R&B song that will come up, and it's like, wow, this is taking me back. This is nostalgic. Even Blackstreet, like "Don't Leave Me,
Me girl.
Girl,
That's a good song.
Please Stay With," and it
And
just takes me back.
that has been sampled by so many people. Tupac sampled that
And
song.
it's like it takes me back, not only nostalgic, but then it takes me back to Soul Food, because that was like one of the songs for that movie soundtrack, Soul Food, back then. So it takes me back to
Mhm.
that movie and how, and that movie was big when it came out, and a lot of people
Yeah.
liked it. So that like the Black Street, obviously some Mariah old school songs. Also, again, my mom listening to it, growing up with it. Sade is
I
another
love
one.
Sade. But when I was discussing this show, like this like concept or whatever, or this discussion, I meant nostalgic in the sense of like what song comes to mind that you really love, that you remember where you were, what you were doing when you first heard it. So is there any song that you remember
With
that
these,
you love that takes you back, that the second you listen to it right now, it reminds you of where you were back in that day when you first heard it and what you were doing?
well, a lot of these songs that I explained still take me back and makes me have some memories of some sense. But if we get specific to that sense, like you,
Mhm.
Britney Spears, and I thought the same thing, but my reaction was, "Who's this bitch?" I swear to God, and this is
You're
coming from
such
the
an
guy
ass.
who has a Britney Spears tattoo on him. This is coming
Can I
from the
say he did the
number one
same thing
Britney
to
fan.
me?
I'm like,
So
"Who's this
fucking rude.
bitch?" I'm like, "Who is this?" The first time I ever seen her, I remember was November 1998 when I first ever seen that video,
I don't
and it was on
remember the
TRL,
date.
and I was like,
Yeah.
"Who is she?" But after that,
Who
she
is this
kept
bitch?
appearing on TRL, like number 6, and climbing up with Baby One More Time, and I'm like, okay. And all I know, January of 1999 came around. I remember buying her CD single, "Baby One More Time." It was a CD. It was her face and the thing, and the bonus track was "Autumn Goodbye," and it's a wrap from there. As a Britney fan, it's a wrap from there.
I remember me and my sister had to wash the dishes a lot to get like an allowance, and we put our money together and bought the bootlegs and got. and got baby one more time, and then it was my turn to get, like, I surprised her and I got the Britney album. So yeah, nostalgic. I wish we could do that.
Y'all nostalgia jinx, nostalgia. But moving on, girl. From the good comfort shows and music. Um, let's get into what's going on in the world and what has the social media world in a frenzy and panties up in a bunch. So as of April 1st, I think it started when this month started. Um, the verified blue checks took effect on Instagram and Twitter, where you
Oh
could
yeah.
pay a nice $15 a month to be verified. Oh boy, the controversy that this has taken and like the life it's taken, and we have celebrities posting their thoughts. We have pseudo, is pseudo celebrity a right word to use? Yeah, like the Jason
Sure.
Lees and that guy that I sent you, the Jose's,
Yeah.
pseudo celebrities also putting their 2 cents into it. Before I get into specifics of what some of these people are saying, what's your thoughts on it, and what are you seeing in the social realm that because this has a lot of people up in a
Um
frenzy, and I have my opinions on it as well, but I want to see what you think.
Personally, I really don't care if a person gets their like blue check mark, like if they want to be verified, whatever. Personally, I think I could not do it because I don't really, I'm very selective of who follows me and who I follow on social media. And I don't want low vibration people. So that's why I like cut people off quick. But I don't find it to be beneficial. Like, I think before, back in the day, people used to like, it was only exclusive to celebrities, right? And you had to be a celebrity. Then they brought it down another tier to like influencers who had 200,000 people following them.
And not to cut you off, but
So
some of the people bitching and moaning about this new blue check are not celebrities, but the
the
influencers, pseudo
influencers,
celebrities.
because
But go
at the
ahead.
end of the day, they felt that they had to fight and they had to have a following in order to have that, to like reach that capacity, which I
I
understand that
get it.
they had to fight whatever and they had to have like some sort of like notoriety. However, the fact that now they're opening the blue check to everyone is like they're trying to be inclusive and trying to give everyone inclusivity in that sense, but also at an expense of like you having to pay however much, $16,
$50,
$15.
15, 16 a month.
First of all, I don't even want to pay any of my fucking TV apps for that much.
Right,
Like
here
that's
we
a
are
lot.
both cutting costs on
Bitch,
our
my
on our apps.
Netflix, I'm not trying to pay. If I see one more price increase on Netflix, I'm about to like get a jailbreak my Fire Stick. Hopefully, we don't get in trouble for saying that. Um, but it's like I could care less that people are doing it. But like, if you're doing that and that makes you feel better, cool, that's great. Just know you're being played for a fool because at this point, like now I thought that it had a benefit to it. It really doesn't. As much
Did you
as
look it up?
I didn't look it up. I could gladly look it up while you're giving your input, but I don't think it has any benefits other than you feeling like you are a part of something. I really could care less at the
Well,
end of
I
the
know you
day.
also mentioned that some people, like you said, want to, I guess, verify. So, because there's so many bots and I guess for
There are
people
a lot of bots and
catfishing
stuff.
your profile, so at
Hmm.
least you're checked. That's what you said, and like that's the only
Yeah,
thing.
but now a fake person, a fake page, or a catfish can pay for to get verified, and it could not. It doesn't even have to be them. I don't know. There's a lot of like loops and holes throughout that. Like that shit doesn't make sense to me.
Well,
I'm indifferent about it,
what I'm seeing is,
honestly.
and I want to read and I want to quote exactly some of the posts I'm seeing, because I'm like why some of you guys are some of you people are so pressed about and I sent you a video about it.
Yeah.
Oh, here we are. I guess people posted and now they're cutting out the things they post. All right. Well, Jason Lee was one of the people who posted something. I guess he must have gotten heat, or I don't know. He must have deleted the comment. But a lot of people are going around posting this one meme of, oh, you guys. Hold on. I know someone has it. Okay. Instagram sold 44 million or 44,000 blue checks in one day at $15 a check. That's 660,000 they made because y'all want to be somebody y'all not. I'm seeing this meme going around a lot.
Well, I mean, people pretend to be themselves on Instagram without being verified. So at the end
You
of
know
the
what?
day,
Exactly. And you know what? I commented on this particular person's thing, and I'm like, well, there's a lot of people out there. Let me go back to exactly what I said. There's a lot of people with no blue checks around
so
these
do
streets
you want
acting like
me
they're
to?
somebody.
While you're looking that up, I'm going to tell you the benefits of verification. So according to instasize.com, getting verified on Instagram takes things to the next level. Instead of blending in the crowd, you'll stand out in your industry. You may already have a ton of followers that provide you with social proof, but verification makes it known that you're worth following. After all, people like to follow who and what other people are following. If your profile is attractive and legitimate, new followers will be flocking to your page. Like I said, there isn't really
There's
any
no benefit.
benefit,
Yeah.
particularly for influencers, is that no one can imitate you. I don't think at the end of the day, if influencers want to be verified, props to you, mama. But I don't think that matters. If I start seeing my friends with a blue check mark, I'm literally gonna laugh at them. But at the end of the day, do what you feel.
But it
Not my monkey,
depends.
not my
It
circus.
depends because what about if one of your friends is trying to like establish himself or you know put themselves out there, a business or
No,
something
when
that
I
they're
mean,
trying to do.
well, that's different. If you are actually doing it because you see yourself doing something, like you are trying to put yourself out there business wise, trying to build your brand, cool. If you're posting, and I am not disrespecting anybody, I'm not coming for nobody. Don't come for me. Don't think that I'm coming for anyone.
Don't come
Full
for me
fucking
unless I sent for
disclaimer.
you.
Full disclaimer. If I see that you don't really post anything but just post memes, like repost memes, and all you do is take videos of you smoking hookah or like out and about, but not
That's
really
regular
being
shit.
regular shit, then what you gotta be verified for? I mean, that's great that you got that money to
And
do
you want
that.
to spend
That's
16 a month, yeah.
I'd rather spend 16 in HBO Max watching Sex in the
There you
City
go.
reruns over and over. No. Now, this begs the question, are we going to get verified since we have a platform and we have a
And
podcast?
that's the thing that we spoke for, and this is where I look at it from the inside, like the looking out or whatever. We have a podcast, we have a platform. I feel, and I'm saying it right here, for something like that, for our podcast, especially our Instagram page, I would shell out the monthly 15, 16. It is a lot. Listen, even having a podcast where
Bitch,
you
I'll
people
throw
don't understand,
$5.
even having this right now, it's money. You know what I mean? So for people who think it's a hobby or just whatever, well, this hobby costs, I guess, if y'all want to say what we're doing is a hobby, because we pay for a few things. We pay for it when you listen to us on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google. We have to pay for that. When you see us here in this, what we're using right now, we pay for it. It's called an investment on your future and what you're putting out there,
Mhm.
your brand. So for us having a podcast, our Instagram page, the Inner Circle Podcast, I would consider getting a blue check verified to make it legit and so people could know like they're legit. Now, for my personal self, not so. I wouldn't run to do that for myself. Not yet. Anyways,
Okay. Well,
but but I do agree there are a lot of people, and the only thing I would say is for the people who want to pay the little $15 a month to get their blue checks and be verified, stay humble. Like in the famous words of Kendrick Lamar, bitch, be
bitch, be
humble
humble.
because y'all not gonna get these
Damn.
blue checks and like then start acting like y'all something is like you're paying for your blue check. Calm down, have a fucking sip of humble or have a piece of humble pie. Okay, that's all I say. Get your blue checks, pay your $15 if you want, whatever, however you want to spend your money. I don't care, but just stay humble. Don't be going out there like, oh, I'm verified, I'm some big shit. Although I already see it, and that's why the people posting these memes like, oh, y'all thinking y'all something. Hello, there's a lot of people before these blue checks are out here in these streets thinking they're the grand dom
I
or some shit.
well, I
So,
feel bad
hey,
for the people that have been trying hard to get verified and now they don't really have to. I don't know. It's like such a gray area. I don't know. Maybe because that's not my I'm that I don't care
ni
for.
ni ha,
Ni hi ni ha.
ni
Like
ha.
me vale gorro, me vale madre.
We'll see what this goes and what happens and what comes out of this as time goes by, because we know and living in the social media world, there's something new and we always have something to say. And when I say we, that's the whole social media world. Always have something to say. So we'll see and stay tuned of what
But if
happens.
you see the Inner Circle podcast, be verified. Just know we official before the verification.
All right, exactly. But with that being said, let's get into we haven't played a game. We're gonna play a game with you guys. But first, this past weekend, Ray J was in the headlines, or trying to put himself in the headlines.
Ray J.
Um,
Oh, Brandy's brother.
Randy's brother, because he
Oh
wants
Lord.
a rematch battle. As we know, he did a versus. It was him, Sammy, Bobby Valentino, and Pleasure P. He basically wants a rematch
Pleasure
with
P.
the versus people. Not only that, but there was a lot of talk recently, even on our good friends over at the Breakfast Club was talking about it. Who would win in a versus battle between Lil Wayne and 50 Cent? Much to my surprise, the Breakfast Club, they were saying 50. We did a poll on our Instagram, and I mean by a landslide, Lil Wayne won. But that made me
Mm.
think, who would win in a versus battle if they went versus each other? So here we go. Well, go
Well,
ahead. Go ahead.
because I'm more of the hip hop head
You
and
are.
rap head in this group. Between 50 Cent and Little Wayne, listen, I love every time you come around the city bling bling, but I don't think that Lil Wayne would beat 50 Cent. 50 Cent has a lot of hits by himself as a cameo and with G Unit. That's no, I think 50 Cent would definitely win that versus.
That
His
is
his
surprising.
songs alone, they like make you want to get up and dance too. Like I don't Lil Wayne has songs that are cool, but then some songs are just like, okay, like we Mrs. Officer. No, I don't know.
All right. Well,
That's my
let's get
thought.
into it and let's see what people think. Here's a good old game of versus battle. So we are going to have some head to heads, and here we go. So first one, I mean, since he wanted to set things off this past weekend with the drama and saying he needs a rematch and deserves a rematch, Ray
You're so
J
lame.
versus Pleasure P. Who do you think will win that battle?
I only know one song from two songs from Ray J. One Wish and the Wait a Minute song with
With Little
Little
Kim,
Kim.
right?
So how can he do
Same.
a versus battle when he doesn't really have hits? You're supposed to have hit after hit. I am not gonna lie to you. I'm about to pull a Kiki Palmer. I don't know this man. Pleasure
Pleasure
P.
P. Same. I don't know. I think he came from a group. He came from a group, I believe. I couldn't even tell you what group. And I'm sorry,
Only
people, if you're
only
listening or
pleasure I
watching,
know.
we should have made our
Only pleasure I know is Pain and Pleasure album from 112. I don't know this man. Next,
next. Who would win? We just said it. You already said you think 50, but
50
who would
Cent.
win? Excuse me. In this battle, 50 or Little Wayne? I personally think Little Wayne. I think a lot of people forget that
Clearly,
Little
you don't
Wayne's
listen to
been
rap.
out. Well, it's not that I don't listen to rap. I don't need to listen to rap immensely. Like I'm well cultured and I stay on top of charts. And Little Wayne's been out since like 1998, 97.
That doesn't mean that he has more songs than him. I 50 Cent has more songs than Little Wayne, I feel, that
I
are
mean,
hits.
mm, I don't
But
know. I don't
okay.
know. That would be a good. That would be a good versus battle. Again, I was surprised. I was surprised. Period. That this was a topic. Because and people were thinking or banking on 50. But like I said, we did the poll and by a landslide, and it wasn't just two or three people that voted. By a landslide, people went with Little Wayne. Um, I guess I'm gonna have to explore and do some numbers and digging into those two with their
Oh my
hits. But I
god.
think Little Wayne. But moving on to some rap queens. Oh, this would be a versus battle that I would love. I would pay
They
for.
will fuck each other up.
Little
Is what they
Kim
would
and
do.
Foxy Brown.
I will go with the Notorious K.I.M. because some of
Same.
the shit that listen. So
Same.
for those who don't know, and let me school you a little bit, Charlie. Lil Kim came from the Junior Mafia, which
Well, I knew that.
was with Notorious B.I.G. Foxy Brown was with The Firm,
I knew
which
that.
was Nas. Okay, let me find
I
out.
mean, I be knowing. Don't sleep on me. People think I know shit.
Great.
Go ahead.
So good. I'm glad my bestie's not ignorant. Anyway, so I listen, Foxy has good songs. I love me some Take Me Home. But I gotta give this shit to Kim because no matter what people say, we got it.
I've been
going
listening to
on.
this song too. Ask. I've been listening to this.
That's my shit.
But I remember, I know the firm. I'm talking firm biz to you, baby. I know that whole firm thing. She comes from Jay-Z and all that stuff.
No, not Jay-Z. Nas. Nas,
but
had
she
beef
was.
with Jay-Z.
But she was.
She had
also
a
very
song
close
with Jay-Z, yeah, but that went to shit. Next.
What about this girl groups? TLC versus En Vogue.
Oh, free your mind. It's hard because En Vogue has a catalog that's like really popular. So does TLC, but I feel that's hard.
One. That's a hard one. I would say it's hard, period, because they both sing, but TLC has more of an urban edge, where En Vogue were more sing like Supreme
duets.
sing.
Yeah, I don't think that they would be the same category. I think maybe TLC would be with someone else.
I was thinking TLC versus like an SWB or an Escape, but still TLC is like a peer versus those two. If Candy and Escape want to be talking about where we at over SWB,
bitch, I'm worldwide. No, she's not worldwide.
TLC's over here and Escape is over here.
I love SWB.
But I mean, I go for I love these girls both. Like literally,
I like TLC more. I mean, if you think of a song, if someone were to tell you think of a TLC song right off the bat, you would say Waterfalls or No Scrubs. The only song that I could say for En Vogue would be Free Your Mind.
Mm-hmm.
Granted,
well, they have more, but they had more.
But I'm saying for me,
yeah, for you, yeah. But TLC. Now let's go battle of the producers, and I would love to see this one too. I mean, I've heard people talk about this too. Diddy versus Timbaland.
Timbaland would never do it because I think didn't Timbaland.
Well, he's a founder of Versus.
Yeah.
Versus Swiss
well,
Beats,
I think he did it with Swiss Beats, but that's hard for me because I love Virginia music, Virginia hip hop, especially Virginia Beach hip hop. I'm gonna go with Timbaland on this one because Timbaland has spanned from Missy Elliott, obviously Aaliyah, to like JT, Justin Timberlake, and other people, Nelly Furtado, even Britney. I think at one point
they were supposed to.
They
work
do
together.
anything with Britney?
They did work together, but some things were.
I like P Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, whatever he wants to be called. But love. But the thing with Puff Daddy that people don't know, and I still call him Puff Daddy, he had a group. And what's his name? Stevie J? Is that his name? He was part of the group. Mm-hmm. They were the ones that were making the beats and the music. And I feel like Diddy or Puff Daddy, he's like more of a sample thief.
I mean, he
takes a lot of samples. While Timbaland makes like beats and shit from scratch. Mm-hmm. So I give this one to Timbaland.
Yeah, I have to agree with
Mr. Timothy.
Now let's go to this one. I will pay for this one too. NSYNC versus Backstreet Boys. Who will win this versus?
When I was younger, I loved NSYNC more because oh my god, Britney and Justin. But as I've gotten older, I feel like there's more depth to the songs that Backstreet Boys had. But this would be a crazy versus. I don't know.
That would be a crazy, amazing versus. But I have to go with
Every Little Thing I Do.
It's hard, but for right now, I will have to go with Backstreet Boys.
I will go with Backstreet Boys for the sole fact that they have a fucking song that makes absolutely no sense. But that song is like the best karaoke song ever. I Want It That Way.
Oh, I wanted that way.
Like, what is the meaning of that song? Please tell me. It makes no sense. If you think about it, if you read the lyrics, it makes no sense. But at the end of the day, that is one of the best songs of like American
Pop.
trivia. Yeah, pop royalty.
Yeah. All right. Last but not least,
Ooh.
Cher versus Madonna.
I gotta go with Madonna. Madonna has the catalogs, 4 decades of a lot of music. I love Cher. Cher, I used to tell my mom when we used to get into arguments when I was little that Cher was my mom and she adopted me. But yeah, I love Madonna's. Anything from Madonna.
Yeah, Madonna for sure. Madonna for sure. Well, listen, that was a fun game. Versus battle, and hopefully some of these versus battles come to fruition. We haven't had a versus battle in a while. They need to make one. We need.
Well, they had a lawsuit for a minute.
Oh yeah, they're trying to. Yeah. I heard about that. So maybe that's why we're on the hold. But we need another versus battle. ASAP.
What they need to do is make a versus battle, but not like something of versus comparable to versus, where it's open to all different types of genres. Because versus is celebrating Black music and Black
and
artists.
which we love. But it would be cool to see other arenas and areas, even rockers going versus each other. That would be really cool. But we want to thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. It was fun, just us sister girls,
just us girls,
like RuPaul says. We have our after show coming right up. We have something fun. You definitely tune in for that. Follow us right after. Exclusively only our YouTube. The after show is only on YouTube. So you must hop on our YouTube or hit subscribe to make sure you don't miss it. We want to thank you guys so much. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Google Podcasts, streaming the very next day. And Melanie won't be here next week, but we are still rocking and popping. So we see you guys next week. Love you guys. Adios. Catch us on the after show.
Bye.